Welcome, world, to Life, Love, and Wellness Global, a worldwide wellness movement. I am Reverend Sandy Rogers, and as the creator of this historic event, it is my pleasure to welcome you. We come together to bring you this historic event. We have practitioners, holistic practitioners. We have medical doctors. We have spiritual individuals. This event is so lovingly dedicated to my mother, Mrs. Barbara Dean Brown. And my mother taught me like 40 plus years ago about the importance and the meaning behind herbs. And she would always say, we don't know what they putting in those pills, so you better not, get hooked on prescription drugs. And so we listened to Mom, but not all of us paid attention. My sister, bless her heart, was diagnosed recently thereafter with asthma, and she was prescribed prednisone, which is a very powerful steroid. And my sister actually got hooked on steroids, like someone out on the street kind of hooked, like on heroin or crack or something like that. And so my mom and my sister are both on the other side, living in the other dimension, but they're upholding me, and this is dedicated to their memory. So we don't want to come and make you change your mind about what you're doing. We just want to provide information to you, something different, so that you have options to choose from, so that you're not stuck. Because the environment that we now live in, the fast foods, the toxins in the air that we breathe and in the water that we drink, and the processed foods, and all of that is causing havoc on this precious body temple. So God created our bodies to heal themselves, but they can only heal themselves when they're fed and they're nourished and they're stress-free. And so the 60 or so or more experts that we have are bringing you this worldwide wellness movement in an attempt to share their testimonies and their information with you. So we have from age 14 on up. I don't even know what the oldest age is. I think 88 or something. So you see, that's a wide range of knowledge that we're bringing you. And so we hope that you come and that you get all the knowledge that you need to affect a positive change on your life, and share this with others. It's free, it's online, and so we're just so thankful that you decided to be a part of our listening community, the viewing community, and we certainly appreciate you for giving us your time of day and your energy and your efforts to being with us and to being a part of this historic event. We have pulled together people of color for you, by you, right? So we want to make sure that you understand that we too, melanated people with color, can enjoy, practice, and participate in some of these modalities that others have been doing for centuries, and that is pretty new to our community. So we talk about Qigong, we talk about meditation, yoga, spiritual work from a different perspective than religion. So we talk about the spirituality aspect. We talk about abuse in the families. We talk about all kinds of subjects because we know that in our communities there are layers and layers and layers and layers of stuff that we never talk about that's causing a negative effect on our bodies and its healing process. So we address it, whatever it is, and we hope that you will benefit from the many experts that we have, and that you walk away with lots of knowledge and lots of new information, and that you become fully empowered to share information with others. So thank you for being with us. We love you and we bless you, and we look forward to doing this again. But thanks for being here with the first one. We appreciate you.
Love and wellness. Life, love, and wellness.
Queen Mother Reverend La Boyd. And she's going to share with us who she is, how she got to where she is, and the work that she does in the world. And we'll take it a little bit further from there. So, Sister La, would you please introduce yourself?
Greetings and thank you so much, Sandy, for inviting me to be part of this phenomenal experience. I'm truly honored. I am Reverend Linda La Boyd, and my journey has been as a health educator to incorporate various tools that I've accumulated along the way to assist in providing services to our community. And so today we're talking about the gerontology piece, and it's one of my specialties. I took a course at Clayton State University that certified me as a specialist in aging, gerontology. I think the most important piece I learned out of that 9-month course was that we begin to age from the time we're conceived, every single one of us. So it's not about being a certain age over 40, 50, 60. From the time of conception, we begin our aging process, and it's a wonderful thing. We talk about the importance of acknowledging the aging process. We talk about the importance of acknowledging those that are considered elders and looking at them in a way that, yes, things are changing. Things began changing for each one of us when we stopped hopscotching without any effort. So to be able to really tune in, to ask them, can you assist them? To pay attention to what you hear the reply as well as how you see their body move or not, then that's how we know how to approach and assist if we're being asked to assist in any way. It's a phenomenal experience to be able to connect with our aging community, to be able to have them open up, because they are checking you out. When you approach them and you begin to speak to them, if you're trying to get information, they are doing what I call a scanning. Scanning just not of your physical appearance, but your energy. And then that lets them know whether or not they can relax and communicate with you on any level. If they can reveal to you what may be going on with them, if they trust you. And that trusting is so, so important, because remember, they've been walking a journey and there's been a lot of experiences along the way. So they are having to decide and decipher whether or not they should open up with you. We talk about how the medical allopathic doctor has been allowed to experience expecting their trust. And so many of our aging community just trust the person in the white coat, the person with the MD behind their name. And with that trust, they give away so much of themselves. So we are inviting them to re-look at how much trust we give others outside of ourselves, because they come with a trunk full of knowledge and wisdom and experiences that really worked for them and their families when they were growing up in regards to alternative and complementary medicine and care. People coming in with shoe boxes full of medication. And here we are in a time right now where they've taken the alcohol and the cigarettes off the commercials on television. Now between the lawyers that chase the ambulances and the pharmaceuticals, anything you think you might feel in your body, somebody's already talking about it on a commercial or infomercial. So considering how much time many non-ambulatory elders that may be just sedentary and not getting up and getting out as much, and just letting the TV watch them, but even when they're not watching, it's still programming into their psychological thought pattern. And they're being told, well, if you have a stiff knee, then there's a medication that we have for you, and check with your doctor, and your doctor will prescribe it for you, and we could even give you a discount. Better yet, you don't even have to go out to the pharmacy. We'll mail it to you. So there's a lot of information being bombarded. And so our level and our ability to be able to communicate with that aging population, with those that are so fed into everything the physician says, and not allowing the body to heal itself, as a conversation we've been having quite a bit during this webinar, then to allow them to find that trust in you, and for them to hear you, offer them that alternative conversation is very important.
It's truly interesting how you made the connection that the alcohol and the tobacco has been taken off but replaced with prescription medications. That I had never made that correlation between the two, but it's all destructive to the human body.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And so they're really being bombarded with information. So take it up to an upside. Let's look at our senior centers. We live here in the Metro Atlanta area, Fulton County, and the blessing is that we have some phenomenal senior centers all over the county and in different counties as well. These facilities are offering so many different types of activities. They're having specialists come in and speak on all levels: the physical exercise, the line dancing, the yoga, and for those that need a chair yoga, it's available. The pools are available, open first thing in the morning. They don't have chlorine, just a little chlorine, but mostly saline. And the difference in there being a saline pool as opposed to a chlorinated pool is the joints in the body. And then the pool being warm, 80 plus degrees, the body temperature, so that those that are having mobility issues, you just walk down the stairs, hold the side of the pool, and you just walk. You just walk. Why? Because the water is massaging your body every time you move. And your body loves it, and it makes you happy. And there's no gravity pulling down, so you're able to be mobile effortlessly. And so then there's the water aerobic classes and so on and so forth. There's the weight rooms. There's the rooms where you can learn the classes for crocheting, calligraphy, art, just so many different activities that not only can physically get you moving, but they're stimulating. And we know the importance of remaining as stimulated for the brain to keep it healthy as well. So we are living in a time also with all these other adverse things going on, that there's positive facilities and activities available if we choose to participate in them. And we strongly encourage the seniors to participate in these activities. The churches have the Silver Sneaker programs, free, no cost, 3 times a week. You just go to a class, you get to the church or the center, and you get an hour and a half of activity. So those things are so important, because we have to keep the body moving in order to keep it healthy.
That's beautiful, because a lot of times what we have a tendency to do is to think that a person reach a certain age and they're old. And so just let them be, don't worry about it. Like you say, let them watch TV and let the TV watch them, whichever way it turns out to be. But you're actually honoring the aging population with the work that you're doing. I know that you took a group of seniors, I believe they were like in their 70s, 60s and 70s and 80s maybe, and you taught them what we've been talking about, the energy work of Reiki, and how to do Reiki on themselves to affect a healing process. Will you share that with us, how that turned out?
Yes, Sandy, thank you. I love research. And so while I was taking my 9-month course over at Clayton State, we all had a project to do, and immediately Spirit said you're supposed to do your paper on the energy work. So being an advanced Reiki master teacher, and I facilitate classes so I can teach people how to bring their vibrations up so they can utilize it for themselves. So I decided to do a research project, and I called a dozen sisters aged 65 to 80 and asked them if they would participate in a program for me. And I used the word program and I didn't use the word research. And so 6 randomly were chosen to learn Reiki, and the other 6 would use their normal procedure for the exercise and physical activity during a 30-day period. So the sisters that were randomly chosen to learn to take the class, we had our Reiki attunement workshop on a Saturday afternoon, which was a phenomenal experience. Even just their feedback during the class of the practicum of working on each other and touching each other and seeing what that felt like, and each person taking a chance to get on the table as well as offering the energy work to each other. So every week, each student, whether they were the practitioners or the ones that were using a normal program for exercise, because we were measuring physical discomfort, aches, pains, whatever was going on in your physical body that was uncomfortable, we want to measure and look at it and see what might be different. So everybody sent in one of the smiley face sheets weekly and let me know. Once a week they would fill out the form to let me know how they're feeling in these different areas, the stress, the physical discomfort. At the end of the 30 days, I did a conference call. So everyone had the number. It was really interesting, and it tickled me as well because there were sisters that had never been on a group call like that before. We all here? We all here? Yes, we're all here. So what I asked the sisters that had taken the Reiki class a couple of questions so that we can all hear what their feedback. I already had it on paperwork, but I wanted each of them to hear and exchange with each other. And it happened that every single one of the 6 people that were attuned were only asked to do an energy session on themselves 3 times a week. Choose the morning, night, whenever you wanted to do it. You could do it while you're watching television, didn't matter. I just would ask them to lay their hands on themselves, rub their hands together, and lay them on themselves just 3 times a week. Every one of them started doing it daily. And they talked about how the discomfort had lessened. Another one talked about how she was able to do an extra lap around the gym, and just the positive feedback they had for themselves from beginning to do self-healing on themselves. We had one sister who said that she was doing sessions on her sister-in-law. How cool is that? Real cool. So she was doing health healing sessions on her sister-in-law. And the other group who had not yet been attuned were just really excited and looking for their class, which we had. So thank you for asking.
You and I have done community fairs, health fairs around the city of Atlanta and on the outskirts. And it appears that we, regardless to what the audience is, if it's youth, if it's adults, if it's men, if it's women, that people of color are not familiar with the terminology energy work. Can you break that down and explain what it does or doesn't do for the overall healing and wellness of your body?
Well, energy is everything we see and we don't see. Everything is energy. The breeze, okay? Your movement, your speaking, someone touching you on the cheek, someone looking at you and giving you a smile. When we get the news of something negative happening in the world and we react, that's energy. And whatever someone does to overtly perpetrate that act that may be negative, that's energy. Everything is energy. In regards to the work that we've done in the community, I think one of my callings is that we take this self-healing, the type of healing that Jesus the Christ did, what we consider Big Brother did walking this earth, who told us that we too can do what he did, because every single person comes out the womb with gifts, every one of us. It's just that we're not necessarily encouraged or shown, or we're given other information that's adverse to you being able to touch yourself. And you know how good it is when you touch yourself, and you know the reactions you get when you just lay your hands on someone's shoulders. Even without the touch, the look you might give to someone, a nod, is energy. Everything is energy. And so knowing that everything is energy, what we hear, what we see, what we say, and what we don't hear, then we know it's a powerful source. And it comes from the divine. And so how we use it or not is what makes the difference in how the flow is. So getting back to the activities we've done throughout Metro and around Atlanta and the state of Georgia pretty much, it has been absolutely phenomenal to be able to come into a setting that's not necessarily called a wellness event, but called a community health fair. And to set up chairs and allow people to just sit down and have the wonderful practitioners. And these are people that decided, I'm going to take a Reiki class, I want to be attuned. And then I invite them, well, come and see what this works for, how people respond to it. Come out into the community and offer it. And how the person that sits in the chair that knows nothing about what you're getting ready to offer other than it feels safe. And then you whisper in their ear and ask them if they're okay with being touched. You ask them, you let them know, just take a couple of deep breaths and relax. And if you want to close your eyes, you can, but you don't have to. And they feed right into that. They're okay. It seems like as soon as they sit down, it's like, do whatever. And then to watch people shift because someone just put their hands on their shoulders to connect with them. And then they may put their hands in front of their face or on the side of their face or in front of their heart chakra. And to watch these people just totally go into this relaxed space, the space of, I'm submitting, I feel safe, and then even let go. Whether or not they go into a meditative place, there are people that go to sleep in a chair. And these are sessions that may be 10 minutes. We are just vessels of the Most High's energy. And we say, it's okay, divine, come through us and show us how to assist. It's not that practitioners are healing or fixing anyone's anything. We can only heal thyself. So it has been a phenomenal experience for us to go out into the community, whether it's a religious setting, whether it's a professional setting, whichever setting, and then offer this to the community and get this tremendous, tremendous feedback. It's exhilarating and it's inspiring on every level. We talked about the electromagnetic rays. Let's revisit that a little bit.
Okay, please.
Because the electromagnetic rays, right now, the conversation is we're going from 4Gs and they want to up them to 5. Okay, the Gs are the rays they put in the phones and all those that are emitting from these instruments to us. So you want to take 4Gs, you want to come from 4Gs coming into my crown and my head, and you want to take it up to 5, going into my crown, to my brain, and which is emitting through my entire body. So we talked about what can we do to lessen this kind of energy that's just bombarding our bodies. And we were really recently at a lecture at Holistic Stress Control Institute where the lecturer was kind enough to talk a bit about all this energy that's being emitted to us right now, all these electromagnetic rays. And an excellent question came up in the audience. What do we do about this? You know, I think the person mentioned that their telephone sometime turns off or acts in a certain kind of way. So what was suggested was to use some tools that may be available to us. And these tools are actually stones and crystals that come from the earth. There's a black stone called black tourmaline, which actually lessens, kind of diverts electromagnetic rays from the body. And then there's the other stone called selenite. So tourmaline is black and selenite is white. Yin yang, perfect balance. And the two of these stones and crystals together are so powerful that they can balance any stone and clear any stone and crystal in the universe. They're a powerful team. That same team can take your phone. You can turn your phone off and lay them on the two of them, and they'll lessen the electrodes coming out, the neutrons that's coming out of the phone that will, when you turn the phone back on, that's coming into your head, into your body. So if you would consider moving all wireless apparatus from your bedroom at night, it should not be in there. Because if it's plugged in and it's on, it's working, it's coming in you. So if you would remove them from your physical sleeping area, put them in another area, turn it off, and lay it on the stones and crystal, it will lessen the electromagnetic rays coming out when you turn it back on to use. So there are tools out here to assist us. And you've heard about, I guess about 15 years ago, there was a promotion about a magnet that you could put on your phone. That's black tourmaline. Awesome. So we have those tools to use. And then for those of us that use crystals in our work, once again, you can use that tourmaline, that selenite, to clear that crystal if you just use it, so you can just use it again because it's been cleared from helping you or taking on whatever it was clearing from your physical place. I would like us to remember that we've been gifted a phenomenal, phenomenal machine temple. It's so full of magic, and it's your magic. And that if we would just allow it to do what it does, it heals itself. And that means the rest, the water, the proper nourishment and movement, it can just heal itself beautifully. And that each and every one of us has that opportunity to heal ourselves with the combination of the Most High's guidance. That we are already perfect. Without anything or anyone else, we are perfect. You are perfect. Thank you.
Love and wellness. Life, love and wellness. Life, love and wellness.
And that's what I want, more just what I need.